If you've been following my work for the last bit of time, you've noticed my B-roll has been pretty sweet, but it has been missing one key detail: color. Today, we are going to be looking at the RC 10 watt LED light. When I first got into really enhancing my YouTube videos, I got this. The problem with this is that it's only a white light minus the orange-ish warm tone filter that it has. So I needed color. So I did some browsing on Amazon and I came across this. Now this is a pretty sweet device that, although it's kind of poorly constructed, you can see the bend here. It is a pretty solid metal casing. The glass is pretty sufficient. It does the job. I'm probably going to, in due time, work on this device and probably make some sort of mounting mechanism that I could put a quarter 20 on it or something to that effect and hang it or mount it to all of my camera equipment so I can basically place it anywhere I want, which kind of leads to the next problem. The cord is really short. So the problem with this light that I'm gonna run into is I'm gonna need to buy some mini extension cords, because I could, if I'm gonna wanna do an overhead shot of, say, any sort of B-roll so that you don't get like a cast shadow of the color, as you can see in the photo behind me, I'm gonna need a little bit of an extension cord. So that's not necessarily an issue, but it is something that they really easily could have fixed, and I don't think it would have cost them any more money to produce it. The first thing I noticed when I opened the box was this nice little piece here. I was really confused and really curious as to what this was. Well, it turns out this is the IR sensor. In every image on Amazon's page, this is not visible. Obviously, for reasons of not wanting it to be seen on a product image, but it was really distracting when I first opened it up, and I was really curious and almost concerned, like a piece of the wiring or the piece of the circuitry had fallen out or broken or anything like that. So I plugged it in, I tested it, everything worked just fine, and I kind of played around, and then, well, logic, I just kind of discovered this was the IR sensor. This doesn't really bother me having the product and seeing it here, because really you're not ever going to be looking at the product beyond the purpose of this review video, and it actually does a really good job. It doesn't really block any of the color. There's no spot that you can see where this IR sensor is as the light is being cast, and it really actually has a pretty good range. I was able to, even just with both lights in front of me, control each one of them individually with the two remotes, since I do have two of them. And each one is able to change color individually, independently, even though they're really only about 2-3 feet apart. The remote that it comes with is pretty basic. If you've bought a $30 or less device on Amazon that does color changing properties, this is probably the remote that you've got. But it works. It has an on function, it has an off function. You can change the color instantly. You can change the effect. There's a strobe effect, there's a flash effect, there's all sorts of different effects, which I don't think I'll probably use beyond maybe the strobe or the slow fade for maybe some videos where I want a different sort of color effect so that your eyes are constantly seeing something different. So that might be used. It has a brightness option. It has a whole bunch of other features on it. And the thing that I like about this that I didn't like about the LED strip that I bought for my desk is that the LED strip that I bought for my desk had 3 individual colors. It's red, blue, and green, all in a line. So it was red, blue, green, red, blue, green. So when you wanted to do different fade effects, or you wanted to even introduce an orange, for example, it had to change the brightness of all 3 of those colors. And if you were looking at it in a certain way, it kind of looked a little funky and it didn't quite look right. There was some fade issues if you were looking at it from the wrong angle, or even if in most cases, since it is just on a desk and I'm trying to get B-roll off my desk, it either wouldn't be bright enough, or I couldn't get the angle right to match the color that I'm trying to put from the remote, and it just didn't really work. With this, it's all condensed into one little panel, so any color that I choose from the remote is going to be accurate, it's going to be clear, and there's going to be really no fade issues. So who is this light made for? Well, it's made for people like me who want a little extra color on their setup, on their B-roll, or anything like that. It is also waterproof according to their product page, so this theoretically can be used, and it is shown on their website for outdoor purposes. So if you're trying to illuminate the siding of your house for maybe a Christmas party or any sort of holiday or color situation, this can absolutely be adequate for that. It comes in a 10 watt model and a 30 watt model. I obviously bought the 10 watt model because for the purpose of me using it indoors for B-roll, I'm obviously not gonna need 30 watts worth of power, but it is an availability for those that do need it. I think this is a really good option for any creator out there who wants to just put a little bit of color. It does have a white option as well, so even if you need just a little bit of extra fill light, a little spotlight, a little beam light, you can definitely use this for that purpose as well. And I think it's just really cool to mess around and see what setup you have and what colors you can make with it. And the reason I bought two is because I'm gonna have two different colors per se in the background. So I was taking photos last night and my fiance noticed that you could kind of see I had one was blue and one was red. And she's like, well, it looks kind of purple. And I'm like, that's true, because on one side it's gonna be red, on one side it's gonna be blue. Depending upon where I take the image, how I compose the image, how I place the products in the frame, I can have a little bit of a blue, a little bit of a red, or I can have this purple mix where, you know, the purple would be specifically on the subject, and then you could see the background would be the individual blue and red depending upon where the lights are placed. So there's a lot of options, and for only $15, I bought two right away because it's just a great option. For $30, you can have great colored LED lighting for any setup that you're trying to do in any video that you're trying to produce. So I hope that you learned something from this. I hope that this is something that you guys are gonna look into. Like I said, the really only big flaw that I see is this bracket device. I'm definitely gonna be doing some changes to it to make it quarter 20 capable, and well, we'll see what happens with there, and we'll see what kind of stuff that I can create. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please feel free to leave a like on this video. There's a link on where to buy this product down in the description. It is an Amazon affiliate link, so any purchases of this light or anything else with that Amazon link goes straight to this channel and really helps support my mission and what I'm trying to do with this content creation. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you on the internet.